For today. If you writing stuff here, just pull it. Maybe you should teach it. I wasn't here last week. Oh, me too. But if not, well, you sure that's. That's a. That's a big one. Yes. Thank you. Hey. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Ooh, look at this.
Awesome. Nice to see you all. I see a lot of familiar faces. And me some new faces too. Is that it's a little bit, yeah. Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm over here in Alaska. Oh, there's two people.
What's the time difference now?
It's 7 o'clock. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Just 1 hour. Yeah, it's nicer than it was 2 hours last weekend. So, well, it's nice to meet some new faces and to see some regulars. Um, so welcome to the Bodhi tree if this is your first time. And there's a restroom just down, actually down that way. I guess I got to do the opposite. I'm mirrored. Please use the latch as opposed to the door lock. Otherwise, you have to like enter a code if you make a mistake. Um, but no big deal. You just tell me. I'll just fly from Alaska and unlock it for you. No, tell Bob. Actually, I think I have to do the other direction. I keep forgetting I'm mirrored, so this is going to be a whole interesting thing. Um, um, Yeah, and Bob and I, we donate our time, but this beautiful place, if you feel it in your heart after sitting with us that you'd like to make a donation to the Bodhi tree so that we can continue to have programs like this. If it feels like okay for your pockets and your heart, please yeah, feel free to donate to this wonderful place that's allowing us to be here and to find some stillness on this Wednesday. So, oh, okay. Well, am I forgetting anything, Bob? Oh,
I don't think so.
awesome. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and have us dive into a sit. So if first you need to stretch a little, you can just take a minute to move your body around. We're gonna, instead of doing mindful movement, we're gonna sit for a bit. Is anyone new to the practice? Raise your hand if you're new. Okay.
First time here.
Awesome. Welcome. So happy that you're here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. So the invitation is to find a place that you can both rest the body and also have an awakeness to it. It's this interesting combination of uprightness and rest. And the eyes can gently close, or the gaze can simply soften down to the floor. We'll start with some slower, deeper breaths, if that's in your practice. Elongating the inhale and the exhale. There might be moments of noise or distraction, adorable creatures. And we do our best to bring ourselves back to breath. Invitation to Soften tension that might be arising in the body. Or may have been there all day long. Here and now. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. No one to be. The sound rise. Just noting that. And then returning. Turning to the breath. The topic of tonight is kanti, which is patience. Patience. To return again and again. To here and now. With understanding and care. For whatever the body and mind are experiencing. Inviting the nervous system to accept this moment just as it is. This thought, this sensation. With patience. We continue to stay here and now, through all that unfolds. Like this right now. Maybe there's wanting things to be otherwise. Maybe there's wanting to change, bring closer things like cute animals. Or maybe there's aversion, wanting more stillness and silence. Whatever there might be, can we be aware and hold it gently? Here and now. Invitation to recall a moment where someone had caring patience for you, understanding, trust in your goodness, trust in your unfolding. Or maybe at times that you had that, some qualities like that for yourself. And then letting that go and returning to the breath. Or if the breath is hard to follow, you can tune into bodily sensations, sound, choosing a place to return again and again with patience. It feels comfortable moving the hand to the heart. Making little movements with the hand along the chest. And then returning, noting wherever you go, and then returning to here now. One, good. Even if we do it a million and the body softens and the mind let go of wanting and not wanting. For the last few minutes of this practice, we'll move to a metta practice, kindness practice. We're choosing an object, yourself or another, and you can send well wishes to. It feels accessible, somewhere that feels like, oh yeah, I can send kindness to myself, this person, this creature, wherever it flows easily. Maybe you think of your youngest child when you're a baby and saying words that weren't quite words. Maybe it's a dream or a friend that made you laugh so hard your jaw hurt. Or maybe it's someone in this room, some beings in this room, sending care and wishes of your own choosing. It could look something like, may they be safe, may they be happy, may they be healthy, May they have ease. Or if you're struggling, maybe it's possible to send to you, may I be safe. May I feel happy. May I feel healthy. May I feel ease. And if that feels difficult, you can always return to the breath, whatever feels the most peaceful, choosing what's supportive for you. Noting however you feel right now in this moment. Is it possible to see however you feel right now in this moment? To hold that with compassion. Of course, I feel this way right now. Of course. It's possible to hold whatever energy is here with understanding. May patience arise in us in times that it supports wisdom, and it supports this heart to grow, this heart to be strong and safe. May all living beings everywhere grow in their ability to be patient and understanding. And it's wise to return to kindness. May all living beings have ease and safety inside and out so that patience may grow.
Thank you, Sangha, for your patience and your presence. And we're going to have a little bit of time now for a break. Take care of yourself. We're going to stay or try to be in noble silence. Unless we need to speak, we're going to try and be in noble silence. I know I'm not hearing everything there, so if it's not possible to be in noble silence, that's okay. We're going to try for the next How much time do you have up? Again, extra time here.
It's usually set for 7 minutes, and that's what shows on the clock as we stream it.
Okay, so just do other things for another 7. How much time? 3 more minutes?
7 minutes is what it's going to show on the stream.
Okay. Okay, so 7 minutes is fine, and then you'll just come on a little earlier.
Yeah, and we'll have a little more time for talking at the end.
Perfect. I love it. All right. Thank you, Sangha. So go ahead and enjoy stretching or movement, and yeah, let's try to honor the noble silence. All right. Thank you so much.
Welcome back. It's nice to see everybody. I'm glad to be here tonight. And I want you to know our patience has paid off. And so far, we haven't had any tech glitches. This is about the first time that's happened. So welcome. I think I mentioned that Amy certainly mentioned that the topic tonight is patience. And why that is we've been talking about the 10 paramis or perfections for the last several weeks. And in case you're wondering and haven't been here, I'll repeat them, but I'll do it with the words from one of the suttas tonight. And that is Sariputta, one of the Buddha's disciples, asked him, "How many qualities, Lord, are there issuing in Buddhahood?" There are, Sariputta, 10 qualities issuing in Buddhahood. What are the 10? Giving, Sariputta, is a quality issuing in Buddhahood. And we've mentioned that one many, many times. Generosity, dana, that compassion we have in our heart to give freely without requesting something back, or without doing it in a way that is even vengeful sometimes. We can give out of spite. That would not be a quality of Buddhahood. The rest are virtue, which is sila, renunciation, giving things up, letting them go, wisdom, energy, virya, which we talked about, patience, which we're going to talk a little about tonight, truthfulness, something I wasn't good at for most of my life, determination, loving kindness, and equanimity are the qualities issuing in Buddhahood. So I always like to start with poetry. And tonight's is from, who is it from? I got to check that. Rainer Maria Rilke. And this is from Letters to a Young Poet. Be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves. Like locked rooms, and like books that are written in a very foreign tongue. Do not now seek the answers, which cannot be given you, because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answer. I'm not good at patience. I want what I want, and I generally want it now. That is not something that I'm particularly well trained in. And you can see by a lot of the tech here, I often just like throw money at the problem rather than trying to figure out how to use the stuff I already have. It's working out tonight, but it's taken weeks to get there. And so I understand a little more about that quality of patience. Things don't come immediately, at least not to me. I've spent a lot of my life doing stupid things like long distance bicycling. But I remember when I first started bicycling again, I did as a youth. The idea of going on long bike rides seemed like a really good idea. And the first time I got on a bike, I could go like a mile. Like I owned a bike my whole life, but I hadn't ridden it for a while. I could go like a mile, and I'm like, well, that's not very much. But I kept riding, and now I go on week-long tours across states and things. But it wasn't because I instantly had that ability. And it's really interesting because it is wrapped up with this idea that we talked about of energy. This is a treatise on the paramis by Acharya Dhammapala. I'm going to read a little of it. Patience is mentioned immediately after energy because patience is perfected by energy. As it is said, the energetic man, by arousing his energy, overcomes the suffering imposed by beings and formations. Because patience is an adornment of energy, it is said, patience of the energetic man shines with splendor. And most of what it talks about in the suttas I've read on patience is about forbearance and patience when we're being imposed upon. There's a story about the Buddha in an earlier life when he was a bodhisattva, but not yet a Buddha, where he was tortured by somebody, by a king, and had the tip of his nose cut off and his ears cut off. I know it's a little, yeah. But he was able to hold up with patience and continue to talk about to this king that he carried the Dhamma in his heart, not in the tip of his nose or with his ears or anything. Now, I hope I never have the tip of my nose cut off or my ears cut off or anything like that. But patience usually comes to the fore when we're in something, when I'm in something that's uncomfortable, right? Because things don't immediately get better. We talk about dukkha, the idea of unsatisfactoriness of life. I'm not a big fan of suffering, that translation. I prefer unsatisfactory. Because I think too often when we say, oh, the Buddha said all life is suffering, we kind of misunderstand that in the West. What we really, I think, mean is that he was like, yes, there is suffering. There's old age, illness, and death. But there's also that unsatisfactoriness we get in things. So I was thinking about my latest bout with patience. And yesterday I went and got another COVID booster because I'm a senior citizen and I have some health issues, so you can get them fairly frequently. And I ended up getting struck hard this time. The only other time I ever got a COVID booster, and it was really unpleasant, was the very first one several years ago. But this one got me, and I ended up being up all night with a headache. I knew there was nothing but time that was going to make me feel better. Because I knew it wasn't COVID, it wasn't anything else, it was just this effect. And I had to be patient with it. And I did my best not to complain. I did my best to meditate while I was doing it, staying up. I'm not going to say I was super successful. I wasn't the bodhisattva getting the tip of my nose cut off or my ears cut off and being, wonderful of heart or anything. But I knew it would be over. And so I had patience with it. It goes on to say, the perfection of patience should be considered next. Patience is the unimpeded weapon of the good in the development of noble qualities. And, this is something I was talking to another Sangha I participate in for the last several years. The benefits of meditation are generally, for me, not immediate. I've practiced for years and years, and it's only after all this time that I even have some of that calmness. And I don't always have it. It's not like I'm, you have to be patient, I guess, is what I'm saying to get the benefits of this. I love what this says in here. Patience is an ocean on account of its depth, a shore bounding the great ocean of hatred, a panel closing off the door to the plain of misery. a staircase ascending to the world of the gods and the Brahmas, the ground for habitation of all noble qualities, the supreme purification of body, speech, and mind. I have not reached that, but it's a goal that seems laudable. And I think many of us are here in search of some improvements of something in our life. I know I am. I always joke that I set my intentions to be here because my friends tell me I'm a much nicer person when I meditate. And that's true. And I hope to continue that. I like it when my friends tell me I'm a nicer person, and I feel more comfortable in my own skin. And that also took a long time to achieve. I'm not someone who grew up feeling particularly comfortable in my own skin. And it took a lot of work to be as comfortable as I am, which isn't to say I'm always comfortable. But for the most part, I can look myself in the mirror today and not have to turn away. And I owe a lot of that to a lot of things in my life. I think age is one of them. But it's also practice. So there's so much one could say about patience. And the suttas do mention it. One of my favorite, I don't quite understand it, but it's one of the shorter things in the Dhammapada, which is one of the most beloved collections of sayings and suttas, is patience and forbearance are the highest austerity. And it actually places Khanti, Khanti, which is patience, in the path of liberation, placing it well above ritual or even external practice. So developing this, it is one of the perfections. It's something that I think we grow into and actually have to be patient for. And then there's a couple of other suttas, and I talked about one of them in the stories, that putting up with suffering of some sort, whether it be torture. And I'm not saying, please believe me, if somebody's hurting us, we should put an end to it. This is not something like, oh yeah, let yourself be tortured. But I do think that I have to accept, at least in my life, that this is happening in the moment. And I'm not suggesting that like we let a king torture us in any way, shape, or form. Thankfully, we generally don't have kings anymore. I had my knees replaced a couple of years ago, though. And I did them both at the same time, and it was very painful. And there was nothing to do about it. And so there was nothing to do except be patient and wait for them to heal. Now, obviously there's, PT. We definitely want to do our physical therapy and stuff, but there was nothing to do, especially if I didn't want to eat handfuls of opiates or something, which is something I definitely didn't want to do and was thankfully I didn't need to. So those are the sorts of things we can develop patience for. But there's the other side of the coin too. And it talks about being patient in the face of the things we desire, not just putting off the things that we're unhappy about or tolerating the pain of having your knees replaced, but the patience in holding off on something that we really like. Do I need to, well, I don't actually eat a whole lot of sweets anymore, but I used to. Do I have to fulfill that desire right now? Or can I wait until an appropriate time? One of my dear friends, now passed on, used to eat her dessert before dinner. And she was well into her 90s and said, well, I don't know how much time I have left, so I'm going to eat dessert now. And I absolutely thought that was a great idea for her. But it's not a great idea for me, because if I eat dessert first, I'm not going to eat the dinner. And with my body chemistry, I'll probably go have more dessert. So can I hold off with patience that delicious thing? Can I put off buying whatever giga or piece of tech I feel I absolutely need until I can afford it, right? Until it fits in with the rest of my life. I mean, that's another way of looking at patience. It isn't just about putting up with indignities and putting up with pain and putting up with things. It's also about allowing myself the time to decide whether I actually need something, right? Because we talk a lot about craving, we talk a lot about desire, and we also talk a lot about aversion, right? So being patient in the face of aversive things is one thing, but can I be patient in the light of things that are calling to me that I think I really want? And I'm really bad at that too. Just saying. I remember another time, and other students talk about being provoked. And I think we've all run into people who provoke us a little at times. I am not somebody who, at least earlier in my life, suffered fools gladly. I didn't realize at the time I was the fool, and that other people were suffering me, but with far more patience than I showed. But I'll never forget one of the times that I actually did rather well. And I was at a meeting that was deciding things for an organization. And one of the people there started yelling at me, which I thought was rather inappropriate, about something that they felt hadn't been accomplished yet. Now, it truly didn't need to be accomplished at that time. It was about something that was almost a year away. And I surprised the heck out of myself by not yelling back. And at the end of it, I simply looked at this person and said, you may be right. And I was stunned that I had developed that quality. Now, I want you to know, other people have yelled at me and I've yelled right back after that. This, again, patience in developing these skills. It's not something that immediately comes to mind, but it's a practice. Right? Everything we do here is practice. When we talk about the paramis, when we talk about these perfections, giving is a practice. Practicing being generous is a practice. Practicing virtues is a practice. And one of the things I love about in the Buddhist philosophy is we're not bad people necessarily, we're unskillful. And I can learn a skill. I can become more skillful. I'm not quite sure how to get over being a bad person, right? If I'm a bad person, that sounds pretty permanent. But if I've acted in unskillful ways, I can learn. Can I learn steadfast energy, virya? Yes, I can. I can learn to keep my nose to the grindstone and to do things over time with the energy. And can I learn patience? Yeah, I think I can. I think I have learned some, but I'd like more. So it is, again, a practice. When we were talking about energy a couple of weeks ago, I quoted a haiku by Kobayashi Isa, which is, "Oh, snail, climb Mount Fuji, but slowly, slowly." And that first part, "Oh, snail, climb Mount Fuji," is the virya. It's that steadfast energy. It's that, how can a snail climb Mount Fuji? Well, through that energy, through wanting to get there, through doing that work, just keeping at it, but slowly, slowly. That's the patience. the snail must understand it. It isn't going to get there quickly, right? And that's what I hope for myself, is to understand that I am not going to get there quickly. And I haven't ever gotten anywhere quickly. You know, even on my bicycle, I'm slow. So that's a little bit about patience. We'll have more topics on the paramis coming up. But I think maybe we should meditate for a little now. So let's see if we can do this. Let's settle into a meditation posture that's comfortable for you. Let me ring the bell here, if I can find the... All right, let's just get comfortable and allow ourselves to settle into our cushion or our chair, taking a couple nice cleansing breaths, deep breaths in, holding briefly perhaps, and exhaling slowly. Taking a few more at our own pace, whatever works for us. I'll take about 5 and return again after we've relaxed ourselves. Now, this isn't technically meditation as much as it's physiological relaxation, just allowing ourselves to get rid of whatever's inside, stale air, stale thoughts, and settle in. And while we're doing this, it's perfectly okay to wiggle a little, get yourself just in that wonderful spot where we can meditate for 15 minutes or so without getting cramped or uncomfortable. But if you do, feel free to move. This is my last big breath. And then just letting our breath return to normal, whatever that may be for you. Let's just let ourselves arrive. We needn't do this quickly, nor perfectly. Just be present as you are. Can feel the weight of our contact with the ground. The way our bodies are positioned in space, breezes, sounds around us. Just allowing it all to be present without judgment, without grasping. If it's comfortable for you, let's find an anchor. This is something that we can be aware of and return to when thoughts carry us away or we're distracted by sounds. This might be our breath, the rising and falling in our belly, or cool and warmth at our nostrils, our chest expanding and contracting. But the breath might not be comfortable for you. And in that case, we might just feel our connection with the earth, our sits bones connected with our cushion or chair, our feet or ankles with the floor, or the mat under us, or the sounds around us. But if it is our breath, can I let each breath be a small act of patience? Just being present with this breath, this one breath, or this sensation of sitting, without anticipating the next breath or what it might feel like to sit in another minute. Just allowing this, whatever it is, to be enough. When thoughts arise, and they do for me, can I simply be patient and not begin to believe I'm a bad meditator because thoughts arise? Can we allow the sounds around us simply to be present? Just allowing ourselves to realize this is how it is in this moment. It isn't otherwise. And when distracted, returning to our anchor. Every breath an act of patience. If our minds are especially busy, and returning to our anchor is hard, we might simply note what is present. Hearing, seeing, feeling, thinking. Whatever arises, simply name it, allow it to be present. Allowing ourselves to be patient. Neither drawing it in nor resisting. Welcoming ourselves back to our anchor. And smiling that we've noticed we've been distracted. It's like training a puppy, just inviting it to sit and stay. simply allowing ourselves to be present with what is and patient, knowing whatever arises will also pass. Can I just be with this now? As we come close to the end of our sitting, there's no need to hurry. I'll ring the bell. But I'd like to read a poem about listening and having the patience to allow what arises arise. This is The Winter of Listening by David White. No one but me by the fire, my hands burning red in the palms, while the night wind carries everything away outside. All this petty worry, while the great cloak of the sky grows dark and intense around every living thing. What is precious inside us does not care to be known by the mind in ways that diminish its presence. What we strive for in perfection is not what turns us into the lit angel we desire. What disturbs and then nourishes has everything we need. What we hate in ourselves is what we cannot know in ourselves, but what is true to the pattern does not need to be explained. Inside everyone is a great shout of joy, waiting to be born. Even with the summer so far off, I feel it grown in me now and ready to arrive in the world. All those years listening to those who had nothing to say. All those years forgetting how everything has its own voice to make itself heard. All those years forgetting how easily you can belong to everything simply by listening. And the slow difficulty of remembering how everything is born from an opposite and miraculous otherness. Silence and winter has led me to that otherness. So let this winter of listening be enough for the new life I must call my own. May we have the patience to listen deeply. Thank you for practicing with me. Let me bring Amy back, if I can here. No. Okay, there's a little tech glitch. We finally had one. I was patiently waiting for it to happen.
Can you hear me though?
Yes, we can hear you. And now I can probably bring us up. It's the cursor. I mean, the pointer. Bring you in. Somehow I have two cameras on me. We don't need that. There we go. Right. So this is the time of night. Anybody's welcome to share or ask a question. We have a new microphone I'm going to turn on. So hopefully Amy can hear us. So, new toy. I wasn't patient.
Okay. I skipped Monday just because there was a change in schedule between me and my husband. And I thought, well, that's okay. I come so often if I miss one day. But boy, was I wrong. So I was really looking forward to today. Things were hectic, but I didn't care. I was going to come no matter what. And it was really helpful. Exactly what I needed after. That's what I started a new job. So,
Oh, wonderful.
yeah.
So that's Virya, what we talked about before. I was going to come no matter what.
Right.
I was going to climb Mount Fuji.
Right.
Slowly. So I hope you enjoy your new job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm glad to be back and
We're
see
glad.
people.
So I am very uncomfortable with patience. I've never been a patient person. I like to cut and run. So tonight was painful for me, but also grateful. So I'm supposed to be in LA right now. I had a flight last night and I was going to see my daughter in Los Angeles. And I had a dog sitter. I had my work schedule done, but I couldn't leave because my dog was sick and I couldn't part with her. She needed me. And I'm trying to be patient with my dog and my mother, who are both slowly dying. And part of me feels guilty that I want them to go because I see so much pain in them. But at the same time, it's very painful to lose them. And I've been taking care of my mother for a while, and I've been with my dog for 13 years. She's 16 now. And it's the first time I think that I've had to go through this being very patient with my life. And part of me wants to just move on with my life, but I have to be patient with this process of grief and dying. So I just thank you for being here, because I think meditation has helped me to be more in the now. I try really to be now and not think so much ahead or so much in the past, but it's difficult. It's very, very difficult. And I just feel a lot of pain right now. So thank you for being with Sangha.
Thank you for sharing, being present, Amy.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I think patience here isn't something we can grab onto, you know. Yeah, when we're hurting, when there's a lot, it makes I think the other things that are in the Dharma make sense, right? Like compassion. This hurts right now. This is hard right now. Yeah. So when we try to force patience, that's 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 not really in the energy of the Dharma. We can hope to get there. We can have an intention that maybe down the line. But right now, it might be turning toward patience for what hurts inside you, what's hard and what's tricky about this grief and this caretaking. I know of my own pieces of taking care of family and parents that it can be so challenging. And there's times where those thoughts that you were mentioning rolled through my mind. And it's a sign of the pain that we're going through. So I thank you so much for sharing. And if any of this was of support, if not, then you can just let it go. It's just some of my own unskillfulness. But yeah, thank you.
Again, thank you so much for sharing that. I think we hear you, and we have compassion for that. I know I do. I've lost my parents, so it's tough. It really is. And I'm sorry there's no way around it. I really am. Are you familiar with rain practice?
I think that Tim and Quinn are going to talk about it this Saturday.
Oh, good. Which is essentially recognizing what's rising as you have and acknowledging that it's real, right? Not necessarily enjoying it, not necessarily wanting to, it just that it's true, And then investigating, but not the why so much, but the where is it affecting me? Where am I carrying this? What is it that hurts? And then the nurturing. What is it that I need? What is it that would be helpful? So, but yeah, I hope that is a helpful practice for you, and I'm glad you're going to attend.
How old is he? My friend is 102. 102.
Anybody else like to ask a question or share? All right then. Amy?
I was going to add on, to the nurture part of rain. I don't remember where I'm getting this from, but I remember a teacher having us consider what is it that I need right now, and looking at like 3 H's. Do I want to be heard? Do I want to be helped? Or do I want to be hugged? Oh, my video getting worse. Heard, helped, or hugged might be some of the things that come out of that nurture part of rain. So it's something for all of us to kind of take in for these moments where patience isn't, necessarily available. These other places of care and nurturing, like the rain activity can do. So I'm sure that patience is an interesting, difficult area. And it's not always skillful. Sometimes action is skillful, in this world. Sometimes you have an action too. And if someone were about to cut off a part of my body part, I would have an action. Sorry, little one. I just saw you in the room. Okay. So anyways, take care, everyone. If you guys have any other questions,
Right. I'd like to read a poem, and then we'll dedicate the merit tonight and close. Is that okay, Amy? All right, so this is a poem called Kindness, and it's by Naomi Shihab Nye. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolve in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at breast. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, it is I you have been looking for, and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. Let's sit for a minute, allowing ourselves to become comfortable, taking a deep breath in. Let's just one breath. Let us dedicate the merit of our sitting tonight, our presence, our generosity for each other. Be dedicated to all of the Sangha here, our teachers, our parents and ancestors, our friends, and all living beings, that they may awaken and be free from suffering, perhaps in this very life. May all beings be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with ease. Thank you for your presence tonight. Thank you.
What is your water? So good to be sitting. Oh, your other boys here. I didn't see him.
That microphone's there, so you could, no, not at the camera. She can hear you, but you might want to speak. Can you hear? Okay.
It's so good that they come here. Yeah. I think it's gonna suit them. Yeah. They love it.
Hi.
They said, are we going today?
Yes, we can, but we
Going. I'm like, but maybe because we're running late. They're like, no, we have to.
I think you, the microphone is behind you.
It
Yeah.
is behind you, so yeah, that's it. Close toward you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
That's the boss.
Before I was just looking at you.
I
What was
can
that?
only see you. I can't see myself, so I don't know you ever yet.
Oh, you can't see me?
Oh, I can see you. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I could see you. Yeah.
I can see myself. So good to see you.
So nice to see
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming tonight.
I like this place right next to where you can't see me. There's a nice spot. That's my spot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
I love it. So sweet. I'm glad to know you're there.
Yes. This is only the second time I made it. But it's very nice.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So
Wonderful. Well, I'm hoping to come back for part of Christmas, so hopefully I'll see you.
okay. And Tom will be back too.
Starting in December.
Oh,
December. Yeah, you make it to Christmas.
awesome. Yeah.
Hopefully you make it to Christmas party. I don't even know exactly second week.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can make it then because I think it's before my break, but I'll
That's
still be able
right.
to. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you.
So good. Can't wait to see you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sandra. All right. Good night, Poppy. Yeah. Sure. I know you're exhausted, so take care of yourself.
Congratulations. Well, yeah,
But, thank you so much.
Bye.